prices are steady. And in fact, it's coming down. So assuming that the price of rice in the world market stays at USD $500 per metric ton, it is equated to 29 pesos at an exchange rate of 58 per US dollar. So, dati, ang landed cost ng mga importer is 39 to 40 pesos with 35% tariff rate. Ngayon, bumaba na. Very simple ang calculation. Just reduce it by 20%. Umabot na tayo sa 33 to 34 pesos, which means that the cost per kilo has gone down by 6 to 7 pesos. That is the revenue that is lost by government. Dapat itong 6 to 7 pesos, napupunta ito sa consumer. It's assuming that the fixed cost, meaning distribution, logistical, warehousing, remain constant. Dapat ang 6 to 7 pesos, napupunta po yun sa mga consumer natin. Kasi hindi na dapat pakialaman ng importer yun eh. Kasi hindi na nga sila na-charge ng gobyerno. So, ang nangyayari is, nawala na ng revenue ang gobyerno through BOC, binulsa pa ng mga importer ang 6 to 7 pesos. So, hindi na kailangan director of PCC maghanap pa ng ebidensya. This is a clear proof that the importers are actually pocketing the 6 to 7 pesos that should have been transferred to the consumer. All right. So before you make your comment, gusto ko lang tanungin si Miss Laksa of PSA, no? Based on the methodology that you employ in gathering data and your statistics, how accurate is your data? Kasi wala kang mini-mention ng margin of error. You know, you seem to convince us that what you present is very accurate. You have not considered, you know, the volume of rice imports that don't go through BOC in determining your self-sufficiency ratio. So, have you considered, Ms. Laksa, the other factors that would affect the self-sufficiency ratio? Kasi hindi kasama sa radar ng PSA ang mga smuggled goods which I will be asking Commissioner Rubio later on if they have some data to present.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. You are correct, Mr. Chairman. For the beginning stocks and for the rice stocks and palay production, these are coming from survey results. Thereby, we have a confidence interval for these estimates. Ibig sabihin po, yung pinapresent po namin ay point estimates, and there could be an upper limit and lower limit to this. We also compute the coefficient of variation, which means may certain level of reliability that we compute before we release it to the public. We could provide this in the committee, Mr. Chair, if needed.
Yes. So how accurate are the data presented to us, Ms. Laksa?
For the
What is the range? What is the range? Your upper and your lower limit.
I will just have to get the data for the upper and lower limit, Mr. Chair. About our coefficient of variation, that means the reliability of the estimate is lower than 10%. That means it's good or reliable and acceptable po. As to the lower and upper limit, we will just get, Mr.
Okay,
Chair.
kindly submit those information in the next hearing. So I move to Commissioner Rubio and ASCOM Maronilia. So what we actually quantify as losses in revenue by reducing tariff is only based, Commissioner, on what is legally imported, correct? So do you have any estimates as to the volume of rice that don't go through, you know, the mainstream importation, that is still part of the supply to the Filipino consumers? Meron ba kayong estimate yung mga na-apprehend ninyo na mga smugglers, and what is the volume of this rice that don't go through the mainstream importation?
Yes, Mr. Chair. I can only give you data of our mga apprehended seized commodities, the value of seized commodities. And insofar as our regular ports, I assure the committee that we are doing our job in preventing the entry of illegal goods or smuggled rice to that effect. I can only say that our borders are porous, Your Honor. So I also collaborate and coordinate with other law enforcement agencies to help us guard our borders from entry of illegal goods, Your Honor.
Estimate lang, Commissioner, based on the apprehensions that were done by BOC. Anong volume na nahuhuli ninyo? Yeah, because we should consider this since na yung question natin dito, it was established earlier that there is actually oversupply of rice. And yet, despite the oversupply, prices are not coming down. So, oversupply is compounded also by smuggled goods. You know, I don't take it against you because even America has the strictest border control in the world. And yet, smuggling continues in the US. So sa atin, naintindihan natin yan ang situation dito sa Pilipinas. Ang sinasabi ko lang is, we want to at least have an empirical data on the volume of smuggled rice because that should be considered, you know, when you take things into consideration, no, the total supply that enters the Philippines, because smuggled goods should affect actually the prices of rice. Di ba? Pag smuggled siya, you know, wala ka namang mura na ngayong tariff, inismuggle mo pa, dapat bagsak ang presyo sa merkado, and yet we don't see that in the market. Yung ano lang, yung data nyo lang, Bien. Sa inyo lang, kung ano yung mga volume ng nahuhuli ninyo, like for 2024.
Yes, Mr. Chair. For the estimates of our apprehended seizure on agricultural products is about 856 million. I'll just have to check the disaggregation, Your Honor. Can you give me time to
Yeah,
check
sure.
on the disaggregation?
You just have to quantify in terms of metric tons for specifically for rice.
Yes, Your Honor. I'll check the disaggregation, Your Honor.
All right.
I'll
Malaki yan, ha? 856 million. That's the consolidated
that's
amount
total
of the
all
seizures made.
agricultural products.
All right.
Your Honor.
Okay, thank you.
Mr. Chairman, just a interjection on the questions raised by Chairman Biron. Just a short follow-up lang kasi following the thoughts that Chairman Biron raised, I'd like to ask the good commissioner.
Yung siko ni Briones, ginagawa.
Sige, with the indulgence of
Sige.
is that okay, Chairman? Tanong ko lang si Commissioner kasi 856 million as you stated earlier, yung amount of more or less smuggled goods, agri products. The next question is, what did customs do with the smugglers? Were you able to identify? Were you able to file cases against them? Kasi they could be using consignees, and then when they're apprehended, they use another consignee, but these are the same people. So, Mr. Commissioner, sino ang pinakamalaking smuggler ng bigas dito sa Pilipinas?
Your Honor, all apprehended and seized cargoes undergo investigation and eventually after seizure proceedings we file cases through the DOJ. Your
Chairman.
Honor. I'll
Mr. Chairman, Mr. Chairman, can I be recognized?
Okay, Caps.
Tama nga pa ka mo, supposedly mag-interject kay Chairman Barbers. Iba yung sa but just to follow up. Commissioner, please directly answer. Sino? May kaso ba? Sino?
can you give me time, Your Honor, to
What?
check on
What
our case,
time?
Your Honor?
Why?
I'll just have to check my data, Your Honor.
Oh, okay. In a few
I don't
minutes, you
have
should
it with
answer
me,
the
Your
query of Chairman Barbers.
I have to make sure of my data, Your Honor. So
Kailan nga?
just
Bukas? Makalawa? Next week? Next hearing?
Until tomorrow, Your Honor.
No, today. You check it in your record.
Okay, Your Honor.
Before this hearing ends. Naglulukuhan tayo dito, Mr. Chairman.
Okay, Your Honor.
You don't have the record now?
I don't have the record with me now.
Or you check with your records?
Yes, Your Honor.
Thank you. Sige, ikaw muna, then talagang si Briones na.